What's the one mistake nearly every HOA and condo board member makes that ends up costing thousands in special assessments, skyrocketing insurance, and burnt out volunteers? They don't have a maintenance plan. I'm not talking about a spreadsheet or some mental checklist, a real documented plan that prevents problems before they start. Listen, if you've ever felt like your board is just one plumbing failure or roof leak away from chaos, you're not alone. Because without a clear system, you're not managing maintenance, you're surviving it. This video is for you, the board member trying to keep your community running without losing your mind or your evenings or even your residents' trust. So, what is maintenance planning? Let's start with the basics. Maintenance planning means having a system for how and when things in your community get taken care of, from small reoccurring tasks like landscaping to big ticket items like roofs and plumbing. If you're familiar with a reserve study, we'll talk more about how maintenance planning ties into that shortly. And if you have no idea what a reserve study is, don't worry, I'll break that down later in this video too, because it's a critical piece of this whole puzzle. So why does this matter to you as a board member? Because if you don't have a plan, you will always be in some form of reaction mode. That means more emergencies, higher costs, and a whole lot more stress on you and the other board members. Or worse, maybe you're a new board member and this stuff has been neglected for years and now you're trying to clean up the mess that was created previously. Here's the reality. Reactive maintenance is up to 9 times more expensive than preventive maintenance. If you've ever had to issue a special assessment or explain why insurance premiums just went through the roof, you know how painful these conversations can be. Long-term planning doesn't just protect your buildings, it actually protects you from resident backlash, budget crisis, and the guilt of feeling like you're always just one step behind. Boards that plan ahead stay in control, and boards that don't, well, they're the ones that get easily overwhelmed. There are 3 types of maintenance that every board needs to understand, and only one of them actually helps keep you out of trouble. So the first one is routine. Stuff just like, cleaning the pool, light bulbs, landscaping, the everyday basics. Then there's preventative. Those are the scheduled inspections or servicing, things like checking the HVAC before the summer hits. And then there's deferred maintenance. This is the danger zone that nobody wants you to go to. These are the repairs that you should be doing, but they keep getting pushed. Deferred maintenance is the silent killer of HOA budgets. It doesn't scream, it doesn't send warnings, it just waits until the small crack becomes a major structural issue or that aging pipe becomes a massive flooded unit. It doesn't go away, it just gets more expensive and riskier the longer that it's ignored. If your community is more than 10, 15, 20 years old, this is where the real pressure builds. This is when insurance start pulling back and premiums spike and residents start asking, why didn't we see this coming? How did we not know that this was going to be an issue? This is the moment you either stay ahead or fall behind. Now, here's where it all connects. Your reserve study tells you what's going to wear out and when, but your maintenance plan is what keeps those assets lasting longer. A reserve study is a professional report that estimates how long major components will last, things like your roof, elevators, HVAC systems, and how much it will cost to repair or replace them. It helps your board plan financially so you're not hit with a massive bill when those assets inevitably wear down. Your reserve study and your maintenance plan should work together. Each one supports the other, financially and operationally. And when they don't, that's when the roof that was supposed to last 5 more years starts leaking and the reserve fund isn't ready for it. That's when your carefully balanced budget gets blown apart by one emergency line item, and suddenly you're not just managing a crisis, you're explaining to hundreds of homeowners. Maintenance planning is how you stretch every dollar in your reserve study and avoid those "how are we going to pay for this" moments. When you don't have a maintenance plan in place, here's what typically happens. You overspend on emergency fixes. Your community starts looking neglected. Homeowners lose confidence in the board. And worst of all, you start burning out. We've seen good board members quit midterm, good people who just don't have the right tools or the right support. You shouldn't have to carry all this weight alone. I actually recently just met with a board member of a 120 unit condo building. Brilliant woman. She's an engineer by trade, highly analytical and very capable. And still, after just 1 year on the board, now president, she was visibly burnt out. Why? Well, because two of the other board members had stepped away. One was moving out of the neighborhood, and the other chose not to seek re-election. And she was staring down the barrel of over $500,000 in deferred repairs, infrastructure stuff that had been neglected for years due to bad advice and just unclear planning. She didn't need theory at this point, she needed clarity. She told me that discovering Solume gave her a sense of relief, like finally something that could help her make sense of all the chaos and give her a fighting chance to lead well. If you've ever felt like you're one board meeting away from giving up, listen, you're not alone. That's why I love talking to board members, because you can see it in their eyes when there's finally a sense of hope, a moment of relief. They're tired of just duct taping everything together and they want a clear path forward. That's exactly why we built Solume. It's not just a maintenance tracking software, it's a full HOA and condo management system. You can manage your dues, review architectural requests, log violations, handle vendor communications, and track your community's financial health. But when it comes to maintenance, short term and long term, Solume is your command center. It's built so that you can schedule and assign routine maintenance, track large capital items tied to your reserve study, keep digital records that help with insurance and budgeting, and most importantly, you can finally run your community like a board, not the cleanup crew of some frat-filled concert. So there's no more guessing, no more late night texts asking the question of, did anybody fix the leak? Did anybody schedule a vendor for that? Solume gives you confidence, transparency, and control. You took on this role because you care about your community. You care about the way that it looks, the way that it operates. You want it to function well. But caring isn't enough without the tools to lead well. A great maintenance plan is one of the best ways to reduce stress, avoid costs, and build trust within your neighborhood and even among the board. We'd love to help you get started. Reach out to us on our website and we can walk you through this entire software package and show you exactly how it helps when it comes to maintenance and all the other things that I talked about.